Welcome to The Confidence Conversation, hosted by Michelle Beatty. The Confidence Conversation is a series of rich dialogues and insights shared by a variety of professionals in different industries as they unpack their secrets to being confident while sharing the building blocks, career wisdom, and their entrepreneurial journeys. The Confidence Conversation is an expansion of the blog CareerTipper.com.
Hello and welcome to the Confidence Conversation. I'm your host, Michelle Beatty, creator of CareerTipper.com. Today's episode, we're featuring Courtney Dawn Shaw, a fitness professional with over 10 years of experience in personal training, being a youth fitness teacher, wellness consultant, and a motivational speaker. Courtney is the co-founder and author of the Fit to Be Free movement and curriculum. The Fit to Be Free movement is recognized by the Let's Move initiative and an official partner with the President's Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition Council. Courtney's dedication to professionally promoting her healthy lifestyle initiative have led her to expanding her professional footprint and legacy in a variety of platforms, ushering her to experiencing a long-term desire and goal from her becoming a TV host. Courtney, welcome to the Confidence Conversation.
Hey, Michelle, thanks so much for having me.
Courtney, I'm eager for you to share your journey of how your passion for fitness has led you to living your dream life. Please share the roots of where your love for fitness sprouted.
Absolutely, Michelle. Well, my love for fitness really started at a young age. I was born into an athletic family. My dad was a superstar athlete growing up. My mom, not so much athletic, but my dad definitely drove the passion for athletics in our home. I grew up in between two boys, so anything that I saw them doing, naturally, I wanted to get out and do. And I think it all started on the soccer field, honestly. Both of my brothers were playing, and before they knew it, I was on the sidelines kicking the soccer ball around, and then I was on a team and played, up until all through high school, actually, travel soccer, and was competitive with that. And my dad was a hurdler in the Junior Olympics, and so my dad was my cross-country coach growing up, and I started running and was really good at it and passionate about it, and found myself on a winning Junior Olympic cross-country team, and we won nationals multiple years in a row. So I definitely had that passion and that drive for sports. It was a great outlet, a mental release, but it was also time for me to bond with my dad. It was our daddy-daughter moment, and also loved dance, too. I was very musical, and loved that was kind of my girly side, I guess you could say. I was a tomboy on the soccer field and running, but dance, my passion for music, and just being able to express myself through movement stayed with me clear, even up until now. I still love dance. So fitness set a great foundation for me and taught me a lot about life principles and not only, of course, discipline, but teamwork and how to overcome, victories and how to overcome great losses and disappointments, too. So it definitely helped establish character and set a great platform for what I am doing today with my life.
I love it. A solid foundation leads to greatness. So over the years, you have creatively invented and reinvented initiatives and systems for you to remain current and relevant as a fitness industry expert. So which resources have you found beneficial in driving your creative process?
Well, one of the greatest, obviously, resources right out of high school, I would say my senior year, I started finding a passion for weight training. Obviously, as an athlete, I was very active and healthy and fit, but I took a weightlifting class as one of my alternative classes my senior year, and I fell in love with how it started to transform my body. And growing up, I was always, not necessarily tall or short, but just kind of average height, and I was always real trim and more skinny fit. And, my junior year of high school, my body went through a major transition. All of a sudden, I got boobs and a butt, and I didn't know what to do with any of it. And so when I found weightlifting, I loved the way it shaped my body, and it helped me feel more comfortable in my own skin. And what I realized is through weight training, it helped me actually perform better on the soccer field or any type of sport that I tried to do. It helped me excel further. So it really set that foundation. And so I was really interested in weight training, and right out of high school, I got certified with the ISFA Sports Association and started my first job at Gold's Gym. And I just loved helping people transform, obviously physically, but from the inside out as well. And so that's been a great resource. And then finding other role models in the fitness industry, people that I could look up to that were leading a healthy lifestyle and helping others transform as well.
Okay. Courtney, The image is a key component for most professions. A fit and polished personal image is critical for fitness professionals. You are in every way a walking billboard, and people are always watching what you do, and if they run into you at the grocery store, I'm pretty sure that they're checking out what's in your basket. So how do you maintain a lifestyle that you enjoy without being too concerned about the opinions and the overanalyzation of others?
Wow, that's so good, especially in a day and age of social media and selfies and such a over focus on self. I mean, that can be overwhelming, paralyzing in and of itself. And I've just recently had a great conversation with another fitness professional, and she's really shifted more into the spirit, soul, and body and just focused on being healthy from the inside out instead of just the external. But obviously it comes with the territory. So I'm of the mindset that if you do the difficult, the impossible, manifests itself. So in a nutshell, if you're doing the basics as far as, your weight training, you're eating clean 80% of the time, you're treating yourself 20% of the time, you're drinking your water, taking your supplements, and you're just consistent with the basics, not these extreme fad diets, but really working out the basics in your life, then it is going to manifest. And I truly believe what works on the inside manifests on the outside. So there's a lot of people that will post, oh, I'm working out, I'm at the gym, like, here's what I'm eating. And then you see them in person and you're like, man, like, as much as you post about this, you think you'd be the healthiest person on the face of the earth. So for me, it's about being about it and not just talking about it and really living the message. And in order for me to do what I do and share the message that I share, obviously I have to practice what I preach. But obviously having 2 young children, I want to set a good example for them. And I want them to see a mom that is confident, that is healthy, and that is able to get out there and play with them and exercise with them and have fun and not be so obsessed about what my appearance is. But if I discipline myself and make that a priority in a lifestyle, they see the benefits of that as well.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Courtney, please share the details of how being a certified fitness professional that is dedicated and steadfast to professionally promoting a healthy lifestyle led you to being pursued to fulfill your long-term goal of being a TV host.
Well, absolutely. It just was everything. I mean, it's a journey. A lot of people are like, oh, did you dream about doing this your whole life? Well, I can't say it wasn't a thought. It was definitely a thought, but I think that, if I reflect back and just think about my journey, I think one of the transitional moments was after my husband and I co-authored the National Health and Wellness Curriculum, the Fit to Be Free movement. A good friend of ours had invited us to come onto a show, and my husband Jeff and I shared about the Fit to Be Free movement, and it was in that time just that natural gift and flow of communication, of course the passion for what we were doing and what we were endeavoring to do, it came across so strong that the producer of the show actually, after we ended up taping, came to me and said, hey, listen, we'd really love to have you back on and do some fit tips and fitness segments. How would you feel about that? I said, absolutely, I'd love to do that. And I always loved, speaking, put a microphone in my hand, and it's like, uh-oh, you can't shut her up, I just love to talk. That was one of the gifts that God had given me, and I just love to flow in that and encourage. And so when you put a camera on, some people, I know it freaks them out, but, it's just the ability to be able to go, wow, what a powerful tool to connect with even more people. So I ended up coming back on as a guest host, and then I got pregnant with my daughter during this time, and one of the things a lot of people say is, you have to put your dreams on hold when you have children. But for me, your children are not your excuse. They're really your reason to go forward into your passion and purpose, because now you have these little eyes watching you, and it's such a great example for them to see you pursue that as well. And so I had my daughter, and I was actually 6 months pregnant, and the producer called back, and one of the main ladies that was hosting the show that I had come on, she actually felt called to go in a different direction, so they were looking for a main host. And the producer and the co-producer called me up. They're like, so Courtney, I'm like, so how are the auditions going? I knew they were trying to audition for a new host. They're like, everything's gone great except for we're looking for a main host. I'm like, well, I'll keep my eyes out for somebody for you guys and, listen to see if anybody's interested. And they're like, well, actually, we wanted you to host. So it wasn't even something I was necessarily pursuing. It just started pursuing me. And so I let them know, I have to have my baby. And by the time we film, what are we going to do? And they're like, don't worry, we'll work around you. And that's exactly what we did. And so I ended up we ended up hosting 14 episodes. And once we wrapped that season, one of my good friends who was my co-host was actually a former Mrs. Hawaii, and she said, Courtney, what are you going to do next? And I said, I really want to take Fit to Be Free to the next level, and I didn't know if that was going to be from producing a show or what we were going to do, but I just felt like it was time to really put rocket boosters under it. And that's when she suggested that I run for Mrs. Florida. And I have to be honest with you, I laughed in her face. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm a mom of 2 young children. I'm going to get on stage and be in a pageant. I mean, I was the furthest thing in my mind from somebody who would do a pageant. So I laughed at first, and then I really did my research. And here I found myself a year later standing on stage, and I was being crowned Mrs. Florida. And, 48 hours after I was crowned, I was interviewed by Barbara Beck with Good Life 45 and had a phenomenal interview, much like I'm on with you tonight, just, talking about my testimony. We got in the kitchen a little bit, did a healthy recipe, did some exercise, and then by the time we were done taping that show, again, the producer and the co-producer of the show came up and they said, listen, we really feel like you're called to be here and be on Good Life 45. And that's really kind of how it happened, that organically. And so as you're pursuing your purpose and your passion, I mean, there's so many doors that will open up that you don't even have a clue, and you'll be fully equipped and ready to step in it.
So inspiring. Courtney, personal trainers are also cheerleaders. You cheer people on to be or return to being their personal best. You help them to boost their self-confidence and their abilities, and for some, you help them reset their mindset to accomplish greatness. I'm sure there are times that you need some cheerleading of your own. What are your refueling resources that helps you to being consistent and sought after source of fitness motivation?
For me, obviously, and the Fit to Be Free message is about being whole spirit, soul, and body. So on a daily basis for me, it's just continue to feed my spirit. I need to be strong from the inside out to be able to really walk in the fullness of the message that God has given me and my family to walk in. And so definitely through my time of devotion, for me, it's the Word of God. Encouraging books. I also love reading other fitness professionals' books. It's amazing when you really connect with people that are flowing in their purpose in your area of influence or your genre. You realize it's not about a competition. It's really about collaboration and partnering together to do greater things. And so I love reading about what some of my girlfriends are doing in the fitness industry. One of my really good girlfriends, Kim Dolan Leto, she it was a former Miss Fitness America, and she did this in her 40s, after having a baby, and she's such an inspiration. And so I find strength and encouragement from other fitness professionals and people that are just going out and living their life and enjoying it and living on purpose. So for me, I've made a decision at this point in my life, because I know who I am and know what I'm called to do. I'm very careful in who I surround myself with and making sure that it's life-giving, it's encouraging. When it comes to your inner circle, obviously when you are, encouraging others and you're on that mission field and you're pouring out, that's a different thing. But just making sure I really guard my heart and my mind, and I'm fueling my body with healthy foods, and I'm faithful to my time to move my body physically every day. So it's a combination of those things that are life-giving. And I think the other thing that's really important, too, is that I think sometimes there's an expectation to be on 24/7, and rest is so essential to our total health and well-being. And so I've made it a point to, make sure I schedule in that time weekly just to rest, whether it's prayer or meditation or just downtime with our family where we're just completely engaged in one another and having fun. I think that when you live life on purpose, fun is a huge part of the dynamic. So we like to try new things and travel and experience new things, and that brings so much health and well-being to us. And that's what cheers me on in life, is just being able to enjoy the journey with the ones I love.
What are your must-have fitness gadgets and songs that you listen to when you exercise?
Well, I'm of the mindset of just getting back to the basics. There's a lot of cool fitness gear out there. All you have to do is turn on the TV at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you'll see 5 million infomercials with the latest fitness gear on. And one of my favorite pieces of exercise equipment that always gives me a good laugh is the shake weight. And, it's basically a weight that has a battery in it, and it just shakes, and you're supposed to resist it. And, it is the funniest thing you could ever see. And so I have this funny saying, the shake weight becomes a paperweight. So for me, I don't have a ton of fitness gadgets. I keep it really simple. It's about lacing up my Nikes, My husband and I, one thing we are faithful with in our fitness journey is, getting in the gym and lifting the weights and doing resistance, or getting out and pounding the pavement and going out and walking or running, or, chasing our son down while he's on his Y-flick or his bike and pushing the jogger stroller. So when it comes to gadgets, pretty simple. But songs, man, I love worship music when I work out. I mean, it's just a way for me to get lost, to kind of get past the pain and just get into that place where my spirit can just be open to dream and to press past and just to expand in my thinking. So any type of worship music or hype music, I love that. Anything that can just get me in that place where I just let my cares, go away.
So please share what has become your success formula to having career longevity in the fitness industry.
For me personally, there's no formula or no steps. I think it really has to do with getting to the core of what is your purpose and your passion. If you're truly passionate about something, it's always going to be a part of your life. So we know there's seasons where you're on the mountaintop, and there's seasons where you're in the valley, where you're doing the work and you're building your dream and you're serving in obscurity. And so, my thing is, what would you do if no one else was watching? What wakes you up in the morning? What keeps you up late at night? What makes your heart throb and pound? That's what you're passionate about. So for me, it's just being open to change. I think in the fitness industry, we've gone through all kinds of hypes, pills, potions, buckets, lotions. A big thing is like, try this shake or this supplement, or do this or do that, and then you get the results. And I think for so long in the fitness industry, people were looking for a quick fix to look fit, but not necessarily be healthy. And health is internal and is eternal, both. But for me, the longevity is just really being genuine to the basics, the foundation, the fundamentals of health and fitness. And for me, the foundation, the fundamentals is really as simple as this. Obviously, I'd said earlier in the interview that, for me, it's an 80-20 rule. We eat clean 80% of the time. Throughout the week, it's nothing too exciting going on in the Shaw household in the kitchen. I mean, some people may say it is, but for us, it's like for dinner tonight, I grilled some seasoned chicken breast, and I sauteed bell peppers and onions and threw in some steamed broccoli, and we had some basmati rice. And, we try to eat clean as much as possible, living foods. We don't keep a lot of junk food in the house. And then on the weekends, we treat ourselves. And so it's not cheat meals, but it's treat meals. And that way we know we've earned it and we enjoyed it. And we truly believe God created food for our enjoyment. So if you get the food piece down, that's the biggest struggle for people. And I'm a firm believer in supplementation too, and I think everybody needs to be on a good basic multivitamin to fill in those nutritional blocks. Obviously, water, chug it, drink it, love it. Our bodies are made up of a majority of water, so we need water to help flush out and detox our bodies as well. Every 90 days, we try to do some type of cleanse and detox to flush everything out and reboot our system, and we keep our bodies physically moving. I mean, we're an active family, so you'll find us out on a bike trail and our son out on his Y-flick, or, throwing a basketball. We just try to keep moving. So I think the real source of longevity is making it a lifestyle, not a fad or a diet, or I'm going to, lose this or lose that. And then you end up worse off than what you were. So it's being patient with yourself, enjoying the journey. And obviously certain goals are seasonal. For me to be standing on stage at, Miss Florida and being in phenomenal shape and, standing up in a bathing suit, I mean, obviously you're not going to be that lean all the time. So it's finding that healthy balance and being able to be relevant. And what's amazing, I think I've learned in the fitness industry, is everybody's getting back to the basics.
How has sticking to the basics been beneficial to you in boosting your career confidence?
It gives me a foundation to stand upon. I think so many times when we do things extreme, it's not maintainable. And I think when you have a maintainable lifestyle, then you always have a place to go back to. And you're able to listen to your body as well, and to your mind and to your spirit, and go, you know what, okay, time to reel it back in a little bit. So it's not these one highs to these next lows. It's like slow and steady wins the race. One of my favorite scriptures is the race wasn't given to the swift nor the strong, but them that would endure to the end. And life truly is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And I think especially if you've been given a great vision or a dream to do something in whatever field that you're in, sometimes we can feel this overwhelming sense of pressure, like it's got to happen right away. And I think we've looked at the P word, meaning process, as a cuss word. That's a horrible word. Don't say process. Oh, it's got to happen now. And I think that's what's happened with our society is, unfortunately, Google, you get instant answers. Everything just looks instant. But people don't realize that there's a struggle behind it. There was a lot of years of, just toiling and trying just to make it through the day, but not giving up. And I think that's the truth that we need to tell people, even when it comes to their health or their, quote unquote, what is appeared success. Success is in the eye of the beholder. For me, if I can put my head on my pillow at night and know that I gave everything that I possibly had that day, then that's success for me. Knowing that my family's together, that my family knows that they're loved, that the people that God's placed around me know that they're loved, and that I was available to serve and to be present, and that's success for me. Success is a byproduct of flowing in your purpose and your passion. And so if that comes through, some people will deem success as, I've got X amount of dollars in my bank account, and I know some people that are super wealthy, but they're the most unfulfilled, unhealthy, miserable people you'll ever meet. So what is success to you? And so I think when we stop comparing ourselves and we start being true to what our purpose and calling is, then we can walk in success long term. And it doesn't just have to be seasonal or instant. We can maintain that. And so I think that's a big key.
No window shopping of other people's life.
Amen to that, sister. Comparison is the killer of joy. Big time.
Only motivational window shopping. No window shopping of, that should be me. No need to try it on. Motivate you to create your own success.
That's so good. That's really good.
So what are a few of your favorite eats? I know that you're known for creating and sharing yummy and healthy eats. So I want to know, what are a few of your favorite eats? Oh, man.
I've got a lot of favorite eats. As one thing, I love to cook. I'm the personal trainer that loves to bake, too, which seems like an oxymoron. But, I've learned to bake. It's if we're going to have treats or stuff, I don't go buy a bunch of processed junk. I try to make stuff from scratch and knowing what I'm putting in it. But I make a mean granola from scratch that's really good, and we throw that over yogurt or put almond milk over it, or I make bars out of it. Everybody loves my protein power bars or balls. Those are good little energy bites. But over the summer I've been the grilling machines. It's so cute. My husband's he's you like that it's summertime because I do all the cooking now, but I can marinate some really good meat. No, he's taught me how to use the grill too. But yeah, tonight, just being able to grill up a nice chicken breast and do some type of balsamic glaze over it and steam vegetables and just eating clean like that. We love that. I love making egg white oatmeal pancakes, and that's an easy breakfast thing. You take 6 egg whites, a half a cup of steel cut oats, and chop up a banana and put some ground cinnamon in there, and those are the bomb. You just flip them like pancakes. So those are some of my little go-tos. I love making different shakes too, and I think that's one of the easiest healthy meals on the go is just making, a protein shake. I'll throw in some almond milk, a scoop of protein powder, some coconut oil, some flaxseed or chia seeds, and frozen blueberries. We live off of that stuff in our house. So those are all good staples in our house.
Sounds delicious. Okay, Courtney, please fill in the blanks of this sentence. Courtney Dawn Shaw is who aims to while enjoying.
Okay, well, Courtney Dawn Shaw is a child of God, number one, who aims to walk in peace that passes all understanding while enjoying every moment of life. Is that good?
That's awesome. High five.
All right, I received that high five. Right back at you, babe.
Awesome. I know that one of your favorite quotes was written by spiritual teacher, author, and lecturer Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Courtney, how has this quote impacted the core of who you are over the years of being a fitness influencer?
You know, this quote was given to me when I was 18 years old, and this is the first time, outside of obviously, my time in the Word of God, that it was like what I had feared was put down in words. It wasn't fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, but what if I did become all that God has called me to be? How am I going to maintain that? Or, I don't want to offend anybody, or, people will think that I'm better than them. And you go through all of these little processes and what ifs. But I'll tell you what, when you truly stop looking outward and you start looking inward and do the work, meaning do the decluttering, do the defragging in computer talk, do the detoxing, going through the deliverance process and releasing the stuff that's tried to pile itself up on you since you were a child. I truly believe that when we're born in a pure state from the standpoint that we don't have all this stuff corrupting us. We just are who we are. Good Lord, spend time with a young child. And I have the privilege of being able to spend time with two amazing children, which are in my care, our children, and I hear God speak through them every day, day in and day out. I watched my daughter today just not even think about it and jump off the side of the slide and land on her feet. She wasn't thinking about falling flat on her face. She knew she was going to take that leap, and it was going to be amazing, and she was going to go with the risk, and because there was a great reward, that was that momentary sensation of flying. And so I watched her climb up a rock wall and not even think twice about it. And so it's that fearlessness. And so for me, what are you afraid of? What do you have to lose? What, people aren't going to like you? You may fail. You know what? Failure is not final. When I think I finally realized that failure is not final and give myself permission to fail forward, there was so much freedom found in that it's okay. I don't have to be perfect. I can make mistakes. But as long as I learn from them, I'm getting better. And so that I know if truth is being manifested in my life, that it's not necessarily what I say or what I do. It's how I live. And how I live speaks so much more to people than what I say. And so that is my main focus when I wake up in the morning. Is God, use me today for your glory. I'm going to do the difficult. You need to do the impossible. But you know what? I'm not going to allow fear to hold me back anymore, because as I move forward in faith, there's freedom in that, and that's what's going to liberate others. And so I know that I was born to shine. I know that my middle name, Dawn, it's a light that pierces into the darkness. It breaks through. And so I think when we do the work and realize who we are, who we've been called and created to be, and we have given ourselves permission to be that, there's freedom in that, and that will help others walk in that type of liberation. And so is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely, yes. But I think one thing that is so liberating, too, is to know I have not arrived yet. Yes, great things are happening in my life. I praise God for all the opportunities. I'm thankful for an amazing husband and a best friend that we've gone through good, bad, and ugly, but we've gone through it together. We fought together and had something worth fighting for. I'm so thankful that we have two healthy children, and that there's just no limit to what God can do in and through us. So, I don't live for success. I live for purpose. I live for joy, and I live for making an impact. And so when you get to that point, it influences every aspect of your life.
How has that motivated you to take on challenges?
Whereas before, I may have been a little bit more reluctant and just hesitant. I don't react anymore. I choose to respond. And I respond with courage and faith and confidence, knowing that my heart is pure, my motives are pure, and that all things are truly going to work together for my good. So even if something comes up as an opposition, I take it on with joy instead of taking it on with hesitation or reservation, because I know that through the obstacle, something great is going to come, and that it's through those obstacles and those challenges that they refine us and make us sharper and make us smoother and give us more compassion. And so now I have more of a conquering attitude than I do an attitude of hesitation or not want to deal with conflict. Because in this world, we're going to have troubles. We're going to have conflict. You never get to a point of arriving. And when you do, that's a scary place. That means it's about time for you to check out. And so I just want to constantly learn and grow, and I encourage other people to do the same. And being able to be fit, meaning not just physically fit, but spiritually fit and mentally fit, it helps you face things with a greater level of confidence and not feeling overwhelmed and paralyzed by opposition.
So when you train different professionals, I'm sure that you train different professionals in different industries and at different levels in their career. So how do you use that, which is now your belief, which some might feel is a technique, a mindset? How do you use that to help your clients unlock their mental blocks that will help them progress in their fitness and also can be a transferable awareness into the work environment?
Well, I mean, I think it just parallels so many things. You know, even if you just want to look at weight training from the perspective of you are literally picking up weight that's heavier and you're having to resist it. And it's the perfect parallel for life obstacles or whatever your career, your profession is. You know, you never get to the point of arriving. We get paid to solve problems. I mean, that's what people get paid, big money to solve big problems. And so, you know, at the end of the day, it all transfers over, and it's about discipline. It's about, commitment. It's about accountability. And it takes those same fundamental practices in your everyday life, in your relationships, but also in the workplace or the place of your business or your calling or your passion. And so, again, I just say this is a tool. You know, this is a tool, number one, for stress release, because anytime, you pursue anything notable in the workplace and want to make an impact, it's going to come with some stress, and you have to find a place to release that. And so I encourage all business professionals to take that time to take care of themselves, because you know what? You need your health. You need your strength. You need your mental clarity. And sometimes going for a good run is just a way to defog your brain. You know, so many times we can get stuck on a problem at work or something that we're facing, and it can be super frustrating, and somebody can just go and take 30 minutes, and whether it's a walk or whether it's, going to, hit the weights or whatever it is that you love to do for physical activity, you can come back with a clear mind, and sometimes where you didn't see something before, now you see it super clear. So I just let everybody know that this is a life transferable skill, and it rewards you in so many aspects, even in your relationship building as well, and even in your confidence and how you present yourself as a business professional.
I appreciate you sharing that, because fitness is not an accessory to life. It's a lifeline to life. And
that's right.
I appreciate you sharing that with the listeners, just for food for thought. For some, it's not food for thought. It is their way of life. But for some, working long hours, over 40 hours in a week, or not feeling that they have that kind of time for their health, I appreciate you sharing your input for them to just really figure out how to make that time, even if it's like a couch to 5K or 15-minute workouts. Find something that will really help them refuel themselves, I think is essential to success and career confidence.
Absolutely. It absolutely is.
Well, Courtney, thank you for taking the time to be a part of the Confidence Conversation. I want to end this episode of the Confidence Conversation with this affirmation. I schedule time to refuel my body and mind, to be focused and energized, to operate at my professional best continually. Courtney, please share how listeners can get in touch with you.
Our website, the website you can go to reach me, is CourtneyDawnShaw.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Courtney Dawn Shaw. You'll find some great blogs, fit tips, just encouraging tidbits. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me as well, or need help with your diet, nutrition, accountability. I'm here to help you.
Awesome. And you can find me, Michelle Beatty, at CareerTipper.com and on Instagram at CareerTipper. Listeners, thank you for joining us today, and I'm grateful for your support.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Confidence Conversation. We are grateful for our listeners and guests. For more career confidence motivation, resources, and to share your comments and feedback about this episode and share future guest suggestions, visit careertipper.com. Until next time, be career confident.